Reviews, the biggest news, the what's new, and the who's who. Welcome to the Daily Gamer Podcast with Joe Mango and James.
Welcome to the Daily Gamer Podcast number 22. 22 with me, Joe Mango, and
James.
Basically, all we do on this podcast is chat loads about games.
Yeah, and there's plenty to talk about because
E3 did not happen.
Yeah.
So everyone decided to do their own showcases.
What was the reason? Do you know?
Because no one wanted to sign up to E3 showcases.
Yeah.
Everyone started pulling out. I think PlayStation pulled out, and then everyone else just pulled out.
Yeah,
so then they had no one there, so they had to not run it because they didn't have any of the big gaming developers wanting to go.
That's a shame.
Bit of a shame, but what can you do? But we thought today we would chat about our favorite announcements that have happened over pretty much the last month, right?
So everyone had to make up for it and then announce all their games digitally.
Yeah, pretty much. But in a way, it's kind of fine, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't need to spend all that money on E3. You can just...
Exactly. You don't have to go all the way to, California?
Yeah, exactly. Starfield is obviously a big one, but I want to chat more in depth about that later on. So we're not going to talk about Starfield now. We're going to talk about it in 20 minutes on the podcast, all right? Let's start, though, with Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Big game. The first one, rave reviews. Obviously, they also had the Miles Morales game, which was amazing as well.
Yeah.
New movie from Miles Morales just came out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, Spider-Man's IP is flying.
Yeah,
it's flying right now.
Is flying like Spider-Man. Yeah. No, it's a really cool game. And obviously in this one, what we've seen so far is Miles Morales and Peter Parker are teaming up. And there's also Venom, the Venom suit kind of there as well. Not quite sure what's going on about that 100% and what the story is. But yeah, obviously it's a fan favorite for a lot of people. It's probably... hands down, the best superhero game.
Yeah, I think so.
That anyone's ever played. In general, just all the Spider-Man.
Considering its IP, the combat, the way they've innovated his power, his webs and his web.
Yeah.
Spitting.
Yeah, they said there's also in this one there's a lot more ways to move around.
Yeah.
Because in sometimes if you're exactly, because you always need something to web onto.
Yeah.
But if you're going, there's one fight scene or whatever where you're going through, water, where you're going to traverse onto. Yeah, so they're saying that they've got, gliders and other kind of things
that make it quite convenient.
Yeah, exactly.
Situation.
But either way, really looking forward to Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Yeah. Also on the list, we've got Assassin's Creed Mirage. I'm very excited about this one.
Yeah, because the last few were very action RPG oriented.
Open world, pretty massive kind of games.
Yeah, so the originals were very stealthy. They were assassiny, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. And they're kind of going back to their roots with Assassin's Creed Mirage, but also kind of updating it as well. And it looks really nice. It looks graphically, it looks fantastic.
So it's set in...
So this one is set in 9th century Baghdad.
Okay.
Which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I do like how they jump around timelines. And I tell you what, they're very educational.
I know. Well, that's the thing. They base their worlds on actual landmarks and things, and even layouts of small cities and stuff.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And,
I think it's going to be a good game. Just from the gameplay that I've seen so far, there's some really cool stealth moves that you can do where you can kind of target, go into this kind of mode where it kind of freezes and goes a little really, really slow, and you can target 3 characters, and then you do 3 quick attacks, even if they're a bit spread out, and you do 3 stealth takedowns. Yeah. But it said you can't use that all the time. You have to build up your stealth meter to then be able to perform these cool attacks. So I'm very excited for this. I mean, Valhalla was obviously a great game, but it just wasn't what Assassin's Creed was all about from the start. So Assassin's Creed Mirage, yes, I'm definitely going to play that one.
Definitely. I mean, isn't there a whole slew of other games that will probably come between?
Assassin's Creed games?
Like mini ones, because they had
they've got Assassin's Creed Jade, which is going to be the mobile game that's coming out as well. Yeah. So I mean, they're still going strong with Assassin's Creed, and I actually think this was the perfect time for them to bring back, the original kind of type of game, because I think everyone's gone. They enjoyed the fact that it changed, but I think now they're kind of oh great, we can play the original again, but better. Which I think it's, Ubisoft have just smashed that.
Yeah, and the
so
first
well
one, 2007 November, was the first Assassin's Creed game.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
Not actually that long ago when you think about
PlayStation 3,
it.
Xbox 360. Yeah, 2007. What's that? That's 16.
Yeah.
16 years ago.
Yeah, but if you think about it, how many Assassin's Creed games have come out since then? You're like, wow, that's not actually that long ago. There's been over 10 Assassin's Creed games, like full ones.
Assassin's Creed series is an award. Yeah, 12 main games and 17 spin-off games.
Exactly. In 16 years, that's pretty impressive.
Ooh. Fable. Did you ever play Fable?
I never played Fable.
I think it was on the 360.
360. Okay.
I touched upon it once upon a time.
Once upon a time.
It's kind of like an open world. It's fantasy. It's
So it's like all types of fantasy. Because in the trailer that we saw recently, it was like Jack and the Beanstalk kind of thing, where Richard Ayoade, who is a great actor and plays that role perfectly.
Yeah, I think it does play on nursery rhymes. Not nursery rhymes. What's the word? The kids' stories.
Yeah. I understand.
What do you call fables?
Fables. Yeah.
Yeah. So literally.
Or there's another word, but I'm blanking on it right now.
It's
fairy tales.
Fairy tales. That's it.
Exactly. But I mean, the trailer, one of the best gaming trailers I've seen in a long time. Because people put out like gameplay and stuff like that, and it's great. Or they put out a trailer and it's all boom, 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 boom. This had a little bit more thought behind it. You got Richard Ayoade like telling this story, how he just wants to be a guy who grows things or something like that, and then you have this cutscenes where this person's like doing all this fighting, and you get to see like the cool fighting side of it. And you're like, oh, that looks really nice. Yeah. And then at the end of it, she's climbing a beanstalk. You're like, wait, what's going on? And all of a sudden, Richard Ayoade is a giant and attacking her, and you're just like, what a twist! Yeah,
that's so strange. I thought it was really interesting. I liked it, but it was a bit odd. I wouldn't say it was like, does that make Richard the bad guy? Does that make him?
You were just sad that Richard was the bad guy, weren't you?
Yeah. Or maybe she's bad. You don't know.
Maybe. Little
tiny person.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, that's a good little teaser. And of course,
definitely.
They've got someone, like a comedian, that we will obviously be voicing someone in the game. So,
exactly.
And he's been voicing quite a few.
Oh, he will voice anything.
Yeah.
Anything for money. He actually said that on a TV show once, because he voices like animated movies and all of that stuff, and like really stupid characters. He'll be like, yeah, I'll do it. If they're paying me, I'll do it, which is fair enough. Another one that came out, and I got to be honest, I'm not the biggest Final Fantasy person ever. I really like the games, but I don't.
Neither am I. But
I don't play them that much. But a lot of people are kind of raving about the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is like the third remake, which apparently is going to be like a different kind of story. Different, like it's after the timeline of the previous one. It's going to change things around a little bit, so it's kind of like keeping that Final Fantasy VII story going, basically, which I think is quite cool.
Final Fantasy VII was made in 1997.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's an old one.
26 years.
Gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
Originally on. Oh yeah, so it's the one with the really boxy, odd-looking characters.
Yeah. I actually remember, my older brothers like playing this game when I was younger, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. But yeah, I mean,
super janky graphics.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be
the little guy.
Yeah, the little guy with the spiky hair. Yeah, no, it's really cool, and I think. Again, Final Fantasy is always going to be a hit for people. People are always going to watch it. People are always going to be, happy that it's there. Yeah. So that's cool. Another one, big one, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. People are going crazy over this.
Yeah, I mean, the last game, 2023? Or 2022?
2020.
2020.
Yeah.
It's
2023 now.
Oh, yeah. 3 years since 2020.
Yeah. It was a perfect game for what happened in 2020.
I know exactly, and everyone's just like flying around the world.
Exactly, yeah.
It's you can fly in real time to different countries.
Which is so crazy when you think about it. You're just like, hey, let's go fly 7 hours from Dubai to the UK just for fun.
So what I did was we were going to go on holiday to Sardinia.
Okay.
Last year. and I've got Flight Simulator on the Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
Booted it up. Found where we were staying, like our little Airbnb.
Yeah.
A little villa on the coast, and I flew over. So we flew over our actual destination
No
to
way.
check it out. And like because it's got like live weather and all sorts of things.
That's
like,
so cool.
But yeah, it's so detailed. It's amazing. And then you can just go like, yep, we'll be there in like.
No way. You're like, oh, check out that restaurant down there.
Yeah, not that detailed, but so detailed where the buildings, like you could see the buildings and the swimming pools and stuff.
So you couldn't see like the drunk UK tourists down there or anything like that?
No, unfortunately, but maybe in 2024 version.
Oh yeah, maybe. No, it seems like they've got like a bit more going on with this. Like one of them showed like a rescue ambulance or something like that.
Yeah, so maybe there's some like missions.
It looks like it. There's even hot air balloons and different modes, more variety of transport for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. So that one is going to be a hit.
Yeah, I think they need a bit of a refresher.
Yeah, definitely. But I like that they're not just updating the game. They've gone, no, we've put out, this is a new game. I think that's really good. And yeah, they're probably going to smash it. The other one got like 10 out of 10, crazy reviews, and I'm sure it's going to live up to the hype, this one.
Nice.
Very excited. The next one, James, a big one. People are going crazy over this, and it came out of nowhere, I think. Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah.
What? I went on my TV and I went on YouTube, and it popped up with this Star Wars Outlaws, and it was like 1 hour ago trailer. And I was like, oh, is this a new like TV show? Clicked on it. I was like, oh, it's a new animated TV show. Cool. And I'm just like watching it. And then I was like, this is a game.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like, it's hard to tell these days if what's the game and what's the TV show.
And my wife,
movie.
who isn't a gamer, and she doesn't really watch like animated TV or anything, she was like, oh yeah, I thought it was a real life to start with.
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh no, actually, I realized then it was an animated TV show. And then when I was like, it's a game, she was like shocked.
Yeah.
She was like, wow. And yeah, that is kind of blown my mind a bit. I mean, the fact that you can kind of like take off from your ship on a planet, take off, and you literally fly into the orbit. So it's not like a cutscene where you get in your ship and now you're in space. You actually have to fly through the atmosphere to get into space and go straight into some battles, or you can take down large ships. You can like you can attach onto ships and then like take them down from the inside. And
it'll be interesting to see what they have in mind, because of Starfield will be out by then.
Yeah.
And they've got to compete against a space-based adventure.
I get that.
RPG.
I get that. But it is still Star Wars, and that IP will always sell.
Yeah, of course.
And also, obviously we've got like Jedi Survivor, which is all like lightsabers and stuff. This is more of like what I feel Star Wars is, right? Is, you're a rogue kind of person who's
making your way
who's
through
fighting back, and there's a lot of flying in it, and there's a lot of like gunfights, and just skimming by, and I think
pew, pew, pew.
Exactly. I think that's what Star Wars is like, kind of all about. Yeah, I mean, it's not always just about lightsabers, right? There's a lot of just gunfights in there with Harrison Ford,
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's going to be really cool. But yeah, like you said, like, I think it's different to Starfield. I think Starfield's going to be a little bit more like, not like chillaxed, but you can chillax a little bit more.
I hope it does build on like, was it Knights of the Old Republic?
Yeah.
Maybe like hopefully it takes something from that, because that was one of the best Star Wars games. But it wasn't necessarily all action. It was RPG. It was kind of like, you can make comparisons to, dare I say it, Starfield.
Yeah.
If it has like that sort of element, I think it'd be really good.
Nah, it's looking very, very promising so far. And I'm excited to see, what they actually deliver when it comes out. I assume 2024.
Yeah,
I don't know if they did a date yet. So another one was kind of already teased, but now they've kind of released a little trailer a couple of weeks ago, which was Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty. What do you think of that, James?
Oh, yes. So Phantom Liberty. This is almost making out to be a whole new game.
It looks like it.
So they've just released actually a 30 GB patch for the original game.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk 2077. So that, I think they're prepping themselves for it.
Yeah,
but I think it's because it's such a big add-on that they're treating it like a new game, or like a sequel almost. But
no, it's cool. Idris Elba is in it. I mean, I like how they're getting like these big characters. They got Keanu Reeves to like do it.
It's a good marketing draw, definitely. And I think the story is with Idris Elba. I think you meet him quite early on, and then you start your journey in a new sort of section of what's the city called? Night
City.
Night City.
Yeah. What's that city called? Night something.
City. Night. So it's like a new area, but I think you're actually in that new area for a while. I don't think you actually get to escape it until you.
Okay.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
It looks really cool.
Definitely. I think Cyberpunk have done a very good job of digging out of their hole that they kind of originally dug when they first launched. I think with the help of Keanu Reeves, the TV show, and just a lot of fixing,
hard work,
a lot of patches, they've managed to make a fantastic game, and I'm really excited to see the future of Cyberpunk, and I'm sure that they will never mess it up again.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Hopefully not. Another one, James. Did you see Alan Wake?
I did, yeah.
2. Yeah.
Is it a remake or a sequel?
It's a sequel remake?
Sequel make.
I'm not sure, actually, to be honest with you. I watched the trailer. I never played the first one, so I don't know.
No, I never did either. But I knew of it.
Yeah, I mean, it came out a while ago. I'm not super into my scary games, but I've been playing Resident Evil 4 Remake recently, and now I'm like, I can handle scary games a little bit, which I think this is quite Resident Evil 4-like.
So like I think
a few differences.
The original Alan Wake was like a...
You're like a detective or something, right? Yeah. You're trying to like kind of solve a mystery in a way, but then there's like weird creatures. And one thing that I know for sure, which is kind of like Resident Evil, is you're always low on health and low on resource, and you've got to kind of save your bullets.
It's kind of Resident Evil-y.
Yeah, and then also in this one you have a torch, and you have to shine the torch at the enemies, and it weakens them, and then you can kill them easier. But once your battery runs out, you got to find another battery, otherwise you're in the dark, which is scary.
Exactly, so it makes you chase those batteries. It makes it that's a vital.
And like you don't want to just use no matter how scared you might be, you got to try and not use your torch all the time.
Yeah, I think it is a sequel actually.
Yeah, I thought so.
Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
So, yeah, do you like? Yeah, you don't like scary games, do you?
Not a big fan of scary games, but I don't know how far through Resident Evil Remake you are.
No, I'm like chapter 8.
Okay, so I'm on chapter 13 now, and I won't give anything away, but it was the first time playing Resident Evil that I was genuinely so scared because you're in like this really dark place, and there's just things that, and I was freaking out.
Amazing.
And it was the first time that I was freaking out, and I was just going like this. I was like, I like paused the game for like a second. I'm like, it's just a game, Joe. It's just a game. Just relax. You'll be okay.
That's the weird thing. Like, because you compare it to like movies. Okay, movies can frighten you.
Yeah.
Like books can maybe frighten you, but when you're like playing a game, it's so different.
Yeah.
It's more immersive. Like you're there, you're controlling someone. It's your decisions that you're making, and like that's what makes it way more frightening than anything.
Oh, it was kind of petrifying, but my wife and my newborn were like sleeping in the room next door, and I didn't want to just be like screaming and like wake everyone up and scare everyone. But yeah, I think I'm a little bit more confident now after playing that and living through it and being like, okay, I'm fine. That I'll try and Alan Wake looks like a really cool game. A little bit of problem solving. You're like a detective, as well as having that kind of combat. And yeah, it's a format that I hadn't really played that much before. But I'm really into it. So yeah, definitely keen to explore more with Alan Wake 2. There are plenty more games to chat about, James, but I just want to talk about one more before we wrap things up. These are like our top picks, let's say. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora.
Oh yeah, unexpected.
Honestly, like they've been talking about it for a while, and everyone thought it would kind of come out when the movie came out, but that kind of came and went, and then they thought, oh, maybe they have to spend ages now trying to get it for the next movie that comes out kind of thing, because they're bringing those movies out every 2 years now is basically what they're doing with Avatar.
Right.
But I think that trailer that came out, everyone was like super surprised.
Yeah.
And I read one like article or something, and the headline was basically like, if you're an Avatar fan, this is the best game you could have hoped for. Just from the look at of what they've put out so far.
Yeah.
If you're into Avatar, you couldn't have asked for a better game.
Yeah,
Not saying it's the best though.
And I think Avatar as a movie set itself up for a game
Yeah.
quite easily because the world they're in, there's combat, there's exploration, there's traversal, there's water, there's land. So yeah, it's perfect for an open world.
Like a pretty cool story.
So when I saw the trailer, I'm like, graphics have come a long way. So now we're getting to the point where the video game looks like the movie.
Yeah.
And you can't really tell them apart. If someone was not initiated they're like, oh, so wait, is this a game or is this a movie?
Yeah.
It's both now, buddy.
No, that's really cool. No, I think it's going to be big. I think it's going to be a hit.
I think so. I have my reservations though.
Yeah.
I think it's the studio isn't. They're not well known, and it's kind of a.
I can't remember now. There were so many announcements. It's hard to keep up with everything. Let me have a quick gander. The developers were Massive Entertainment, Ubisoft Dusseldorf, Ubisoft Shanghai, Foxnet, Massive Entertainment AB. So what I heard about this one actually.
Ubisoft. I take that back.
Yeah, what I heard about this was it was all hands on deck. Yeah.
Okay. Well, going on. What Ubisoft have done with open
that was it. Sorry, I remember these guys did The Division.
Yeah, okay.
That's what they did. I was trying to remember. I remember that what it was, but yeah, The Division and Division 1, Division 2, they made those games. So a little bit different to what they usually make, but I mean, you've still got some guns in this one, even though
at least
it's like you're a Navi who can also fire a rocket launcher kind of thing. Yeah. Which is basically the movie as well.
Amazing. So that initial release date is December 2023.
Yeah. So I think because obviously the newer movie, when does that come out? End of 2024. So they're kind of going like Avatar game, Avatar. Maybe there's another game.
Keep everyone thirsty.
Yeah. So every year they got some sort of content out because they didn't put content out from 2009 was when the first one got released. Yeah. Can you believe that?
That's nuts.
It was like 20... No, what am I talking about? 12 years? 13,
Where was I? 2009.
Years?
I was in the UK. I was in England at the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. And that was everything announced over the last month in the world of gaming. Do you have a favorite? Let us know in the comments below. After 25 years, Bethesda have done it. An open world RPG set in space.
Starfield have released a gameplay deep dive, and this is everything you need to know.
To begin with, let's just talk about 1,000 planets. That just seems crazy.
Over 1,000 planets.
Over 1,000 planets.
So how long do you think it'll take to explore
I don't think this game is ever going to be completed because they're just going to keep bringing out new content. That's my thought.
Yeah, do you think all the DLCs will be more planets?
Yeah, more another 1,000 planets, guys. We had it in the bag a while ago, but we've now got them for you. It looks pretty crazy. I'm very excited for this game. Very, very excited. The deep dive just made me shiver inside. Base building.
Shipbuilding.
And the shipbuilding, what I thought was quite cool is you can take down other ships or you can trade with other ships, but basically you can try and find new parts for your ship.
Yeah,
and not just one ship, you can have a fleet of ships.
Oh, wow. Fleet, really?
Which sounds amazing. So
nuts.
That in itself, I am like, I could just do that. And that is the game for me, you know?
Yeah.
I'd just go and just build ships.
Exactly.
I'd be happy with that.
Plus, you can invade or sort of board ships. You can board other ships, and then you can either fight with the people on them. I don't know. Or
I think you can like steal stuff. Like everything. The other thing is like everything in the game is like lootable. Like pretty much, you can literally walk into anywhere and you just loot everything. Yeah. Which again, like some people don't like that, but I quite like being able to just go like. Just pick everything up.
And discovering what you can find.
Yeah, as long as your storage isn't too minimal, because I hate that when you're able to pick up everything. And especially when you first start the game, you're just like, I don't want to drop this hammer because you never know.
I might sell it for 1,000 credits.
Exactly. Also, the character customization, obviously that is a pretty normal thing in games, these types of games. But
it's going to be super inclusive as well this time.
Yeah. They've really gone like full in depth. It looks like they've just gone to the extra mile on every single part of this game, even the food and drink and all the stuff like that.
So much detail.
It looks mental, and I tell you what, like it shows you, like you go through in your inventory, like all your different items, and I saw one that was like showing like a steak that had been like vacuum packed or something, and it just looks like the detail in it just looks amazing. So it's those little things that I'm just getting excited for.
Yeah, me too.
What about the gameplay? I thought it looked very cool. The shooting,
the combat system, the skill trees, and the sort of abilities you can end up getting.
So it looks like there was like 6 different trees, and then inside those trees there's a lot of things to kind of customize.
Yeah.
Not quite as crazy as Cyberpunk, but not far off either.
Not far off, but again, something you can really. You're encouraged to build something really unique builds. And then if you go into the actual abilities that you can acquire, it's like controlling aliens.
Well, who comes up with that?
You
can mind control aliens. So you can either in one tree get mind control aliens, or you make your jetpack better.
Yeah.
It's like, why not? You know?
It kind of reflects the sort of mage aspect, or like the barbarian or whatever.
It means you can just completely choose your own path and how you want to play this game.
Yeah,
which is
so open.
Which is what you want, right? That is what everyone wants. There's loads of different kind of outfits as well, different spacesuits.
Yeah.
There's just so much in this game. The spacesuits for me as well. Like, I love that sort of stuff. That looks so much fun to just be able to run around and be like, when you loot something, you're like, that looks cool,
Look at me now.
Yeah, and even the guns and there's lots of different guns, and you can mod your guns with things you just find and pick up.
And then the crafting as well. The crafting is incredible.
Yeah.
So like, I guess now, I think some games kind of do this. You go to a certain area and that has certain fauna or has certain resources. But I guess now it's down to which planet has the right resource. You have to go all the way light years this way to find a certain resource to craft a weapon or to craft something for your base, whatever it is.
It's really cool. And obviously there are lots of other like humans around. There's different civilizations. You might go to a planet that has no one and it's just aliens.
Yeah.
But you might find like a civilization that used to be there, and they've got like buildings still there, and you can go and explore those buildings.
Like ancient civilization.
It is literally like so many different games that you could wish for, all inside one game.
Yep.
For me,
they've gone for the jugular here. They've taken the best bits out of their own games and mashed it into one, and then innovated other areas as well. So. Yeah, it's going to be infinite. It's crazy.
It's going to be massive, and I'm sure it's going to be... I wouldn't be surprised if it's Game of the Year, to be honest with you. 30 frames is what they're going to cap it at on Xbox.
30 FPS. On the consoles, I think 30 frames is okay.
Yeah.
Because usually on consoles, it's quite well optimized as a 30 frames per second.
Well, they were saying that they just wanted to make sure that you had... like a very, your experience of wasn't changing too much.
Mm-hmm.
So if it was just locked at 30 frames, consistent, that's the word I was looking for. So you just have a consistent frames, and it's just going to look, the same all the way through, which is nice.
Exactly.
And then on your PC, you can go a little bit crazier.
What you want. What platform will you get it on, do you think?
PC, 100%. Yeah, 100% PC. But I'm really looking at trying to invest some into my PC to upgrade it a little bit.
You might have to
beforehand
by September. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've had the same PC for like 5 years now, and sometimes I'll open Google and it's slowing down a little bit. I mean, there is so much to this game. Oh, third person and first person.
Yeah, third and first person. That's great, and you can see yourself from the outside of your ship through the window of your ship.
That's so cool. There's just so many little nuances that just make you excited about this game. That I think it's going to be endless. I can't wait, for when's the release date? I think it's, I want to say September.
Yeah, September.
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 That is not far away now, which is just mental. It feels like we've been waiting for this game for so long. And it's here. Like, September isn't that far away. I've already told my wife, I'm very sorry, but
you're not going to see me for a few days.
I might take a week off work just to sit and play Starfield for a week, because it just looks insane. I have to give it the full go. I don't want to just play it a little bit and then put it down.
Yeah, just a warning to people. don't plan any weddings or anything around September.
No one will be there.
'Cause-
James will definitely not be attending.
No.
Love it. I mean, look, we could probably talk about how amazing and how much we're going to enjoy this game over and over again. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments. What are you most excited for in the game? Are you even excited for the game at all? If you're not, I mean, you must be crazy. You've got to be at least some excited or some curious to give it a go.
Yeah, exactly.
But there you go. That is everything you needed to know for Starfield.
I have some new releases this week.
Oh, yeah. What you got?
I have Aliens Dark Descent that came out this week.
Nice.
If you're familiar with the Aliens franchise, movies, now recently a few games. But this is the first sort of survival horror RTS.
Okay. Real-time strategy. Yeah.
Yes, just for the uninitiated.
Random. Okay.
Yeah, so it's very stealthy. You've got to think about, you're working with a squad. You've got resource management. You've got to be very, very tactical. Because you're fighting, you're against xenomorphs, aren't you?
Yeah. But just not what I expected from an Alien game, to be honest. Not that I don't like it, just a little bit out there. I like it. I think it's cool.
So. I mean, even like taking a bit of the old school movie thing, when you're on a ship or you're in a squad, you're with a few people with you.
Okay, that makes a bit more sense.
Yeah, you're exploring dark and scary.
I'll have a look at that one. I don't know if I want to play it though. A bit scary, maybe.
Yeah, maybe, but looks interesting. Of course, Final Fantasy 16.
Woo-woo!
That's the big one, and it's getting rave reviews so far.
It looks so cool. I mean, I always think Final Fantasy, and I just think of the old school Final Fantasy, turn-based and all of that stuff. But when you look at it now, it is unreal what they're doing with that game.
And it's so beautiful. Like the graphics now these days, they've really pushed that.
Graphics. I thought you meant like the characters look beautiful.
They do as well.
They do, yeah.
And they're really well voice acted. So Final Fantasy 16, it's already getting 9s out of 10s, 88 on Metacritic. But yeah, they've really focused on the combat here. It's beautiful, over the top combat as you'd expect. But, slightly. Yeah, more focus on the action RPG elements, similar to 15. 15 was quite combat oriented, but it was open world. But this one's a little more linear, but I think still very, very combat based.
So one thing that I heard about, these games is Final Fantasy is a massive game, right? And they pump them out pretty regularly. Like they don't have too much time in between them, but they literally rebuild the game again.
Yeah.
Like, they haven't just gone, hey, let's just take Final Fantasy 15 and kind of like just expand on it. Yeah. No, they have literally built a whole new game from the ground up. It must be like a crazy amount of people working on this. And it's flawless. It looks flawless. So, yeah, I'm very excited for that one. I'm definitely going to try and get my hands on it and give that one a go. I have got your gaming news of the week right now. Kicking things off, Dota 2 is making some changes. They're moving away from the Battle Pass kind of mode.
Oh.
All right, which a lot of people have started doing battle passes over the last, 4 or 5 years. Fortnite did it really well. Apex Legends do it, like Warzone. There's a lot of battle passes now. So you basically are able to pay a bit of money, and then over like the course of like a month and a half, 2 months, you can earn rewards, right? Free rewards for buying that battle pass. Well, apparently, Valve said that there are better uses of the devs' time, and most players never buy one anyway.
Really?
For Dota 2 players. It might be different for other games, but for Dota 2, that's the way it goes. I think they are quite annoying that every 2 months you're like, oh, I've got to buy the battle pass again, But anyway, you kind of do it just because you don't want to be left out.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, Discord is opening the monetization floodgates with microtransaction stores and paid exclusive memes inside your, inside your chats on Discord. So if you want to be part of that Discord channel, you can be, but then you'll actually be able to almost have like purchases inside of Discord that you can buy from there.
Like graphics, photos, GIFs.
Yes,
stickers, things
exactly,
like that.
exactly. Which is, for me, I always think, like, why do people pay for that? But people do pay for that stuff.
Now we've got to accept it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big thing on like Twitch and other streaming platforms that people use. But yeah, there are tier templates. It says formalized subscription tiers with prices set by Discord. $3.99, $4.99, $7.99, and $9.99. different one-time purchases, digital products, or subscriptions sold by server owners, which will be assessed via server shops as well.
Okay.
Single home for server owners to sell server subscriptions, downloadables, and premium roles as well. So you can pay to have a premium role.
What's a role?
Like you have different roles inside of Discord.
Oh, roles.
You know, like, yeah, so you can be like a newbie, or you can be a grandmaster, and the grandmaster's able to chat in more chats, or permission to do more things inside of that Discord channel, which is kind of cool. I guess, like, people spend a lot of time making Discord channels, so it'd be nice to be able to monetize it.
Yeah, definitely.
And finally, Diablo 4, people are trying to search for the secret cow level,
yes.
Which basically in every Diablo... Right, I think I'm right here. There is a cow level, and Blizzard, the publisher, say no. There's no cow level. There's no cow level.
Don't believe anything.
And there always is a cow level. Yeah. So now apparently the guys in Diablo 4, it's been out a couple of weeks now. They're trying to find the secret cow level, and apparently they've had a little bit of a breakthrough. They've found that they can do a cleansing ritual from the oxen gods, cow or whatever. Apparently they're on the way there, and Blizzard keeps saying there's no cow level. It's not a
they
thing.
Have to keep
it's a
denying
myth. It's not there. But who knows? I'm sure if it is there, these Diablo 4
someone
nerds
will find it.
They will find it very, very soon. Well, there you go. That is your gaming news of the week.
We're going to check out what's trending in pop and tech.
Nice.
We're going to look at Kraven the Hunter trailer from Marvel. Just came out this week. He's a world-famous explorer and brutal game hunter who can never resist a challenge, especially one that involves taking down Spider-Man. Now, that is coming from the wiki pages of the comics.
Yeah, from the comic stuff, yeah.
I don't want to say, okay, maybe eventually he'll meet Spider-Man, whatever, but this is what...
Yeah. Because, the trailer I watched was more about him trying to get, revenge on his father's empire. He's a bit of a baddie.
Exactly. And his strengths are, strength and agility.
Yeah.
Speed.
He can communicate with animals.
Yeah, so he channels the animal instincts.
Cool.
And uses them to fight.
It's pretty violent.
It looks pretty brutal.
It's not going to be like a normal kind of Marvel... Not quite, PG-13 or something like that.
Older crowd.
It's probably like an 18, I would say.
I'd say, yeah, maybe.
It's quite brutal.
But that's out in October this year, so keep your eyes peeled.
Very excited for that. Also, a kind of a little thing coming out of America, right, about AI. Apparently, they're trying to call on Congress to pick up the pace on AI regulations because AI is kind of just come out of nowhere.
It's escalated quickly.
It has, because AI has been around for a long time, but it hasn't quite, been something that anyone's worried about.
Used by the public, especially.
Yeah, exactly. And then all of a sudden, in the last year, boom, it is blown up. So it says AI could be the most spectacular innovation yet, a force that could ignite a new era of technological advancement, which I totally agree. But what they're saying is they want to protect user safety and innovation.
Naturally.
So it's because it's a new thing. People are going to jump on and they're going to start using it, but are they going to use it correctly? I saw one thing where these guys were testing an AI, and if it says, are you a when you're talking to an AI, right? It says, are you a human? Now, AI is not allowed to lie. That's kind of one thing. But apparently, this AI learned how to lie, and it was are you a human? It's yes, I am a human. Kind of thing. It was really kind of crazy,
quite scary.
And they were we programmed this not to lie, but it learned how to lie, and it knew that to get through the next stage of the conversation, it had to say that it wasn't a human. It's learning. It's crazy.
It's mind-blowing. And this is the first step towards kneeling before our robot overlords.
Yeah, exactly. But I definitely think some sort of AI regulation is probably needed.
At least.
Yeah, definitely. Well, there you go. That is your news for pop and tech.
Nintendo just recently had their showcase. It's called Nintendo Direct. And it sort of announces all the new games and what's coming up for the next
very exciting
few months. So I'll just go through 5 highlights.
Okay.
Detective Pikachu is a game. It's a sequel.
Oh, okay. I just instantly went for the movie.
Yeah, so there was a movie, but there's also a game in 2018 for the DS. So there's a sequel coming up very soon, which looks pretty exciting. The new Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC is on the way as well. I don't know if you're into your Pokemon.
No, not as much anymore. I used to be obviously obsessed, back in Game Boy days.
Yeah. So that was all the rage.
I never really got back into it. I did play Pokemon Go for a bit, but it just...
Yeah, I gave it a go as well.
I was just hanging around with a bunch of nerds in Dubai Mall for a bit, yeah.
Yeah, I was too scared to go outside.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I'll stick to at the home games.
Yeah.
In the home games. Wario, it's called WarioWare. It's sort of a gimmick dancing movement motion game.
Okay.
Starring our favorite anti-hero. And then there's Super Mario Brothers Wonder, which is a sort of return to the traditional 2D platforming of Super Mario. So that looks great. So that's coming in October.
Wow, nice.
And then one of the biggest highlights was Super Mario RPG is getting a remake.
Oh, okay. So they did one a while ago?
So the original Super Mario RPG was actually on the NES.
Wow.
The Nintendo Entertainment System way back. So now it's getting a nice fresh lick of paint, and it's quite exciting because RPGs are quite popular these days. And you don't imagine Mario to be
not
a role-playing game-esque at all, do you? So
definitely not.
That'll be fun to check out.
So this one is still in that kind of 2D kind of.
It's more sort of 2.5D or isometric style.
Yeah, okay.
So you're wandering around worlds. And
I'm with you.
Obviously, RPG will mean that you're kind of uncovering more of a story-based experience.
That's interesting. I like that. I like that they've, because they did it a long time ago, and they must have just gone, guys, what haven't we done in a while?
Yeah.
Remember when we did that RPG Mario game? Yeah. Let's do it again.
Yeah, because people love that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, very cool. Well, thank you so much, James, for all the highlights from the Nintendo Direct.
You're welcome.
And that is it for the Daily Gamer podcast number 22.
What a good one that was.
It was a good one. I mean, we had so much to talk about, and to be honest, we could have spoken for way longer because the amount of announcements that have been going around is just mental. I love this time of year. E3 usually happens, but everyone's just done their own showcases. There's going to be something coming up soon, though. What is it? It's not E3. It's another one of those.
Is it another Game Fest thing?
It is another Game Fest thing. I think that's coming next month or something. But yeah, Xbox have done theirs. Nintendo have done theirs. There's Game Fest stuff. Sony did one a month ago.
Take my money moments, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. And I tell you what, out of everything, I was really excited to see more about Starfield, and they delivered with their own showcase just for Starfield. It was 40 minutes long. And I'm even more excited about that game than I was before.
Finally, Skyrim in space.
Skyrim in space, but with just loads more stuff going on. The crafting looks amazing. I won't get into it because I'll keep talking again.
You should call it it's Skyrim, Fallout, No Man's Sky.
Yeah,
all rolled into one. So it's Skyfall.
Skyfall Man.
Skyfall No Man.
Skyfall No Man. Yeah, I like that. That's how they came with the name Starfield, if you didn't know. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the podcast. We will be back with another podcast in a couple of weeks. We will have more guests on. And if you haven't listened to our other podcasts, make sure you go and listen, subscribe or follow or whatever you do. And also go check out our Instagram where we have daily updates. Obviously, we're Daily Gamer. It's our Daily Gamer official, and also you can check us out on our website, daily-gamer.net. And yeah, that's pretty much it from us, but we will see you next time.
Goodbye.